First off, here's the president yesterday taking great pride in sitting down with CNN and saying the Prime Minister of Netanyahu, I'm holding back 500-pound bombs and 2,000-pound bombs. Watch.
I've made it clear to Bibi and the War Cabinet, they're not going to get our support if, in fact, they go in these population centers. We're not walking away from Israel's security. We're walking away from Israel's ability to wage war in those areas.
So it's not over your red line yet?
Not yet, but we've held up the weapons. We've held up the one shipment that, as an old shipment, it was been designed for. We've held that up.
Senator Rick Scott sits on the Senate Armed Services Committee. He's on the couch with us right now. Senator, your reaction to the president last night making those statements?
It's disgusting. I was just in Israel about a month ago. I met with Netanyahu and Gantz and Gallant, and they have to go in. That's where Hamas is. The battalions are left in Rafah.
Would we leave bin Laden in a corner and just pull back because the rest of the world didn't like the way we were fighting a war?
And they're all committed to making sure they give the civilians plenty of time to get out of Rafah.
100,000 through a passageway.
They said they're going to give them plenty of time to get out. They've got to do that. I mean, think about it. If they attacked America, if somebody attacked America, we're going to say, oh, no, we're not going to go after the people that killed our women and children. We still have 8 American hostages, 5 alive, 3 dead. And they're holding them. They're holding all these other Israeli hostages. I went to Kfar Aza, half a mile from Gaza, a month ago. I saw where babies were beheaded, women were raped, people were shot at point blank, burned alive. And this president is saying they're not going to give them the aid. I knew this was going to happen. I said this was going to happen with the supplemental, because here's what he wanted. All he wanted was Ukraine aid. That's all he cared about, and the humanitarian. He got it. He didn't believe in Israel aid. It was held up. Remember, we tried to get the vote. He wouldn't do it.
That's right. Well, you know, it's all about politics. Brandon Ainsley, absolutely right. When you look at Michigan, he's got a problem in Michigan because there are so many Arabs who live in that particular state. He needs that. That is a swing state. But you know, personally, I just got a picture from a friend in Capitol Hill yesterday. When they walked through the halls of Congress, you know, your senators and your representatives, a lot of them have Palestinian flags in the hall.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, there's still protesters there.
So whose side are they on?
I know. I mean, it makes me mad. I mean, I am on Israel's side. I support Israel. I support Jews. This is disgusting what the president's doing.
So whose side is Joe Biden on?
Well, he's clearly on Hamas' side. I mean, look, what he wanted, right? He wanted the aid so he can give it to Gaza, which goes to Hamas. And then we saw yesterday UNRWA is stealing the aid and selling it. I mean, you knew this was going to happen.
UNRWA, the UN organization.
What's more? But the message is, who's more important, Israel or these terrorists?
All he cares about is his election. So they've got a pro-Hamas group of the Democrat Party, and he's part of it now.
So, Senator, real quick, for people who say, well, this is Hamas that did this, not the Palestinian people, I remember, and the video is posted, of these hostages being taken into Gaza and being hailed and being mocked and spit on, and they were like they were the Yankees up the Canyon of Heroes.
And they elected Hamas.
And they still support Hamas. You look at all the polls.
This is all on Hamas.
Israel, too. Yeah.
This is all on Hamas.
Right.
The President of the United States slow walks weapons to Ukraine, watches to support it, and then goes halfway with Israel, and then watches support who?
And wants to bring them here. Right. And now he wants to bring them here.
You mean the people that teach their kids to hate Israel and that Israel doesn't exist?
We need more protests.
And we're going to bring professors, Palestinian professors, to the college campus.
Oh, at Northwestern, they're going to pay for these professors to come and spew hate.
And Israel gave the civilians an area to go to that's safe. They dropped the pamphlets again to warn them that this invasion could be happening. It's imminent. So they gave them a path to go to safety.
And why did Egypt open up their border?
Right. No pressure on Egypt ever to do that. But
there's no pressure on
billions.
Egypt.
So obviously it's not only to protect the Palestinians, but it's to protect Joe Biden's
election.
Yes.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, speaking of elections, coming up in about 6 months, it most probably is going to be Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. Donald Trump is going to be back in a courtroom in Lower Manhattan, about 3 miles from where you're sitting right now. Stormy Daniels is going to come in again. And when she sits down, she'll be able to look out at the people in the courtroom, and you're going to be there.
Yeah.
Why?
Look, I support my friend. I support Donald Trump. This is just political persecution. It's a crime to use the courts for political persecution. And by the way, I saw this. It happened to me. I fought Hillary Care, and guess what happened when I fought Hillary Care? Justice came after me and attacked me and my company. So think about this. If we don't stop this, all right? If we don't stop this, they can go after you. Every American's at risk. So I'm going to go support this president because this is wrong what's happening to this guy. He is just being politically persecuted. What they find him for where no one lost any money. Now they're trying to put him in jail over an accounting dispute. This is wrong.
We keep hearing so many people involved in this court case. They're giving money. On the other side, they're giving money to Joe Biden and his campaign and have been donors. And this is the latest. The wife of the ex-top Biden DOJ official, the one that's prosecuting Trump, the top prosecutor, has donated, yes, thousands to Biden and Obama. She donated $2,800 to Biden's campaign in 2020.
Right. But first off, the lead prosecutor is the number 3 guy in Biden's Justice Department. Then he goes there to prosecute Trump. I mean, but they're all Democrat donors. This is just political persecution, and this has got to stop.
And by the way, for him to leave that job, people have told me in the legal profession, it's like going from the major league's first place team to a AA team. Why would you do that unless you wanted just to take out Trump? It makes no sense. I just want to talk about in the big picture. You see the Georgia case. You see Fonnie Willis is going to have an ethics violation. They're going to delay there. You see Eileen Cannon says we have so many problems and so many appeals. We're going to have to delay past May 20th, and there's no sense that that's going to get started. And with the documents case, with the January 6th case, we're waiting to see about immunity and what actually they can put in and what he's going to be tried for. Do you believe, from what you know, this thing is going to be delayed till after November? Is this the only case you think?
I hope so. I mean, this thing. These are just the Democrats and Biden just trying to say, "Hey, this is my opponent. Trump's my opponent. I'm going to get him. I'm going to put him in jail. I'm going to get him hell. I'm going to do a gag order so he can't talk. Oh, I'm going to make sure he can't be on the campaign trail." This is going on in the United States of America, not in Nicaragua.
So what does the rest of the world think? You travel around. What are they seeing?
Well, first off, they think Biden's a joke. And they think, what has happened to your country? First off, the college campuses, I've talked to a lot of my friends around the world. They say, what is going on? You guys got these protesters in your own country saying they support Hamas? I mean, this is crazy.
What are you talking about? Joe Biden's a joke. He was on CNN last night, and he said our economy is on fire, Senator. We're doing great.
Do you know how many people working age in this country are not working? 100 million.
Of course.
I mean, all we're adding is part-time jobs. We're losing full-time jobs. And inflation, if you're, like, I grew up in a poor family, and you go to a poor family, grocery prices are up 40%, gas is up 50%, rent's up probably 25 or 30. These people are having a very difficult time succeeding.
Senator, you're in Florida where a lot of people are struggling to pay their electricity bill. They've got to decide, am I going to make my house payment? Am I going to make my medical payment? I'm going to turn off the air conditioner.
Yeah, but we're losing full-time jobs. We have fewer people in the workforce, and we're adding this part-time jobs. That's Bidenomics.
What did you think when, in the interview last night? 2 things really stood out to me. He said inflation was 9% when he came into office.
Lie.
That is a lie. It was 1.4%. It went up to 9% in June of 2022, a year and a half into his presidency. Then he also said that Trump has never succeeded in creating jobs. Not only the Trump Organization, but he was also president for 4 years and created jobs.
Right. Think about it. When Trump left office, the border was secure, the economy was great, and we weren't at war. Just in 3 years and 5 months, what's happened? Where inflation's out of control, they can't control it. All right, the border's wide open, and now we've got all these wars.
You're running for 6 more years in the Senate. How much harder is your job, being that it's now 6 weeks abortion, and that's going to be a referendum in Florida, and it makes it so much harder for Republicans? It doesn't care if you're pro-life or pro-choice.
No, the number 1 issue in my state is the border. Number 2 is inflation. But the Democrats, all they're talking about, all they're going to run on is abortion. That's all it is.
Senator, thank you very much for dropping by before you go to court.
Okay.
Best of luck.
Good luck.
Yeah.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.